Three, two, one, ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 321 Ghost. I'm your host, the Wicked Witch of the West Coast, Natalie. And with me, as always, is my movie watching fiend co host, Kyle. Hey,
Huh.
Kyle. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy theater going schedule to talk to me.
I I hope no one from AMC listens to this, but first of all, like, hey, I'm an AMC A-list member.
Me too.
You are now a recent A-list member,
Hmm.
and I'm a little worried that well, I know they're going to raise prices in July, but I'm
Yeah.
a little worried it's my fault because I've been really like
Cashing in.
cashing in. Like there were some moments where I was seeing 3 to 4 movies a week,
That's what you pay
and
for.
right, but
Hmm.
and I also sneak in snacks. So
They're gonna
and
start checking bags again if you say that out loud. I also sneak in snacks.
I know, and I just bring in my water bottle, and I just stay hydrated, right? Especially for all the spooky stuff.
They let you
Uh,
bring a water bottle?
yeah, at least in my theater.
Really?
Yeah, I got this. Y'all can't see it. I've got my big ass like Yeti
It's like
water
a
bottle.
hydro flask. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've never tried to bring in my water bottle. Do you just have to show them that it's empty or something?
No, I just walk right in with it and I go over to the like beverage station and I'm honest, I don't fill it with anything else. But I
Sure.
go, no, 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 I mean it. And then I go and fill it with water. So it's ice cold ready, when I'm going into the theater. But it's a freestyle machine, so I need to like switch it to water and then like let it
Hmm.
run for a little bit
Yeah.
to get whatever the fuck else is coming out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just fill that bad boy with some ice cold quality H double O.
Yeah. I don't want
What's the
this
two
to
H's in an
become
O?
H2O. It's two H's and an O.
It's 20 years after Halloween,
Yes.
is what H2O means. Sorry.
Well, we're not being paid by AMC, so there's that. But if you do see a lot of movies, I think it's worth it.
And then I came into this year, Natalie being like, "Hey, I'm bored. I I want to try and see every single theatrically released horror movie
Hmm.
because hey, if I'm gonna be a fucking horror podcaster, like, come on." And of course, like, we stopped paying the research team a long time ago. I
Yeah.
I gotta know something, right? But then, horror is, I think, delightfully a quantity over quality genre.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I absolutely agree.
because they're so cheap to make and
Hmm.
they're just like fucking just let's put it out. Oh, this monkey goes crazy? Cool, put it out. Oh, this hippo
Yeah.
goes crazy? Yeah, put it out. Absolutely.
Everybody's going crazy in 2026.
Yeah. So,
Well,
there's a lot.
there's a lot. There's definitely a lot to talk about, and we're gonna try to zoom in and narrow it down a little bit. But this is our mid-year episode. I think this will be our third, fourth, fourth mid-year episode. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a third.
It's the third. Fantastic. I can count from 2023. So this is our third mid-year episode. So as always, we won't spoil anything. As fun as it would be to have spoilers, I want to make sure that everyone can listen all the way through the episode and then we don't have to give you timestamps or tell you to like fast forward a couple minutes because, you know, you may not have seen all these movies. I haven't seen all the movies that Kyle's seen, that's for sure. And he hasn't seen some of the ones that I've seen, believe it or not. So I'm very excited. I think 2026 has had a lot to watch, and maybe not all of it worth watching, but I'll share how many movies I've watched first because I'm really proud of how many movies I've watched. I watched 16 movies
I'm proud
this
of
year.
you.
I think that's a lot. Now, I know we're horror podcasters, so I probably should be watching more. But you know what? I'm fucking busy. I say that every time. I'm busy. Kyle's not busy. How many movies?
Clearly.
How many movies have you watched so far?
So, only counting horror movies,
Only horror.
I've seen 40 this year.
Okay.
Theatrically released horror movies. Now, if anything came straight to streaming, I have not watched it, and I feel like that's where you shine,
Yeah.
is if there's something that's on streaming that you
Hmm.
can just like watch without leaving your couch, you're on that. I
Oh
appreciate you
yeah.
for that.
Yeah, I wish I would have done more of that, but I think on the back half of the year, I'll get a little more into that. I feel like since you're leaning into your theater watches, I'll lean into the streaming. But I love seeing movies in theaters, and I would prefer to see them that way, especially with horror. I think it's more fun. So, okay, I watched 16 movies. I put them in chronological order. Are you ready? I'm going to list
Yeah.
them all. Okay. I watched Primate, Send Help, Cold Storage, Twisted, that was a straight to streaming, Night Patrol, Scream 7, Ready or Not, Here I Come, The Mortuary Assistant, Whistle, Slanted, Dolly. I'm counting Mortal Kombat 2.
So am I.
Okay, good. It's horror adjacent.
There are, and people give me shit about this when I say it counts because look, there's violence, there's gore,
Hmm.
there's monsters.
Yeah.
Like, it counts. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let it I would be horrified in that situation.
Yes, it's like fantasy horror.
Yeah. Whereas, like, say, like Street Fighter, I'm not scared of any of this.
No,
It's got silly haircuts.
really silly haircuts.
Yeah. That movie's gonna be real fun too.
It's
I'm
gonna be
looking forward to
fun.
that.
Yeah. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2, Obsession, Backrooms. I also counted Scary Movie 6
Me too.
and Hungry. That's my 16 movies.
I've seen most of those. So starting from the beginning of the year, I watched, okay, I'm gonna really try to
Roll
go
through
through
them.
these. I saw We Bury the Dead, Primate, Night Patrol, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, Return to Silent Hill, Send Help, Whistle. Didn't you see Whistle? Did you say
Hmm.
that?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Iron Lung, Strangers Chapter 3, The Observance. I didn't know that you saw Mortuary Assistant as well. That was not
I
good.
I watched that streaming and I'll get to that.
That's rough. A lot of video game horror movies to start the year.
Hmm.
Um, Dracula, Psycho Killer, Scream 7, Dolly, The Bride, which I'm counting. It's got
I would count that.
Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. Come on. Undertone, Slanted, Scared to Death, Ready or Not 2, Vampires of the Velvet Lounge, Forbidden Fruits, They Will Kill You, Hunting Matthew Nichols, The Yeti, Faces of Death, Exit 8, another video game movie, The Mummy, Lee Cronin's, um, Broken Bird, Hokum, which is fun to say,
Yeah.
Hokum, Deep Water, Mortal Kombat 2, Obsession, Marama or Marama, Passenger, Corporate Retreat, Saccharin, Backrooms, Scary Movie, and then I just watched Leviticus a few days ago.
That's
That's 40.
impressive.
It's a lot and a lot of quantity over quality, but I will say that
Yeah.
there are some standouts this year. Maybe not quite to the level of like having like centers and weapons,
Hmm.
but still fun.
I'm curious with that long ass list,
Mhm.
are there any that you missed that
Well,
you like that are still on your list to watch, or did you check all of them off?
there's Cold Storage, which has got the Stranger
Mm,
Things kid, and also the woman that was in Barbarian, and also
hmm.
Psycho Killer. So I didn't see that. Thrash, isn't that the shark one?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know if I was,
That one was straight to streaming.
I believe so. Um, Mother Mary, the Anne Hathaway one, but I didn't know how horror that was. And didn't get a confirmation enough of like it being horror enough for me to go see it.
I read that it is straight up horror, and it's funny because I listen to that freaking Smile 2 EP all the time on Spotify. Spotify has now algorithmed the songs from that movie into
Mhm.
like my playlist. And one of them came on and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is a bop. What is this? And then I was like, oh, it's Anne Hathaway, like as that character in Mother Mary. And the song was pretty good, which made me want to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but it is on my list of movies that I missed that I'd like to go back and watch. It's actually a pretty short list considering all the ones that you've listed.
I not even finished with the ones I haven't seen.
Oh
There
my
was
gosh.
one earlier this year called The Dreadful, but I was like, it looked
Mm,
dreadful.
dreadful.
It had like a couple people from Game of Thrones in it, I think. And then there was one that I told you to see because it was playing at your theater in California, but wasn't
Which one
playing
was
anywhere
it?
in Washington. And it's getting got good reviews, is Pitfall, which has
Um,
the fun brother with all the piercings from the last Final Destination movie.
it didn't it didn't land in a convenient time for me to see it, but I did look because there was like one showing
Yeah.
at like 10 p.m. or something like that. And you know you won't catch me at the theater at fucking 10 p.m.
Yeah, so it's I think it's probably streaming at some point, but and then maybe there's something I missed. Let me know.
Hmm. I think most of the movies that are on my list you've seen other than Mother Mary. I thought you had seen that one. I would like to go back and watch without knowing your boo score thoughts on them. Maybe you've like shared a little bit. Like, Kyle will text me a boo score of a movie if he's seen it, and I'll do the same. I have Forbidden Fruits. I really think I'll like that one, so I want to make sure that I actually like sit and watch it because it looks like it's very fun.
I think you would too.
Um, Hokum, I also would like to
Holcomb.
watch. Hokum, because
Holcomb.
Adam Scott's in it, so even if I don't like the movie, I still get to watch him.
Mhm.
Faces of Death, Leviticus, and Thrash, because I always will watch every shark movie. And that's my ones that I missed that I would like to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a good time with almost all that.
Yeah. So in between all of those movies, you played some horror video games.
No, and that's so
You
upsetting to
did,
me.
but not ones
Now,
that came out in 2026.
that's correct. I've been playing
Okay.
catch up, Natalie. So played Silent Hill F, the one that came out last like fall.
Hmm.
Got that out of the way because we've got a new Silent Hill, Townfall, which is coming out in this fall, which looks good. I mean, but also just like, dude, Silent Hill, whatever.
Yeah, always
It's a
play it.
vibe. I'm down for it.
Hmm.
Um, and then I've been getting myself re-caught up again with Resident Evil, going back to Biohazard, then to Village, and then to play Requiem because it looks so much fucking fun. I want to play Requiem. I haven't played it. I just hear nothing but great things. And then of course my
Hmm.
algorithm, right, on social media is like there's one video that I've seen a few times where it's just playing like the fucking like the guitar solo part of Freebird, like when it gets like really rocking, and it's
Yeah.
just Leon just doing roundhouse kicks all over the place. And I'm like, this is so much fun because yeah, just playing as him sometimes feels like a fucking cheat code
Oh, I
because
love it.
yeah. So I'm really excited to play that. And yeah, I don't know. There were a few other things that came out this year. Of course, I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm not a good note taker.
Mm.
There was one called Reanimal, that
Yeah.
is, it's more of like a side-scrolling, platforming situation.
Fun.
I think you play as multiplayer, but I don't have any friends, so you know. Um, and
Fuck me, I guess.
yeah. And but it reminds me of, gosh, if you've played Little Nightmares, if you played Limbo, if you played Inside, all similar kind of situation, where it's just all, heavy on the vibes, great to play with the lights off, but not like exhausting, frightening, like Dead Space or some shit could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not as much as I would like because I'm playing catch up, but I'm hoping that I'll have a better list for you at the end of the year.
I mean, I think that kind of counts. you did what I didn't have the patience to do because I think you like to have a complete
Hmm.
narrative and like through the game. And I usually do too, but it had been so long since I'd played something. I was like, fuck it. I'm going right into Resident Evil 9. So I'm not even halfway through that game. It takes me so long to game. For for those of you who don't understand how a PlayStation account works, because I clearly don't. I downloaded Resident Evil 9 on my son's account. And when you do that, two people can't play at the same time. That's right. There's two fucking PlayStations in my house, and I still can't finish this game because I downloaded it on his account instead of my own. And it sucks because he's playing Fortnite constantly. So I'll get back to Resident Evil 9, but I haven't finished it yet. But what I will say is it's a fucking blast and it is scary. And same. Playing as Leon is so fun. It's so fun kicking zombie ass playing as him. I love it. They give you infinite ammo. What a treat. When you're playing as him, only when you're playing as him.
That's fun.
So that's really fun because you can just go to town. But it's not easy. Like they throw you into that game. I was screaming profanities all over the house. Like it was a lot. So
Love that for you.
that's what I got into. And then television. I feel like there actually hasn't been that much horror television this year, but
So I watched if there are two main shows that I watched this year that came out. And first is on Netflix, Something Very Bad is Going to Happen, which I think I
mm-hmm.
told you a little bit
I
about.
You did. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's about you know, this it starts off as like, this woman and her fiance, and they're getting married in the winter, and then I guess like the family that's kind of estranged a little bit on the fiance's side, like,
Okay.
they want to have the wedding there. They're very peculiar about it, and they're very like kooky and weird. Um, I know like one of the sisters was Courtney Cox's daughter in that movie, in that
Oh.
show with her and Greg Kinnear. Why am I Shining Vale? That's
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Even though she's like a little much in it, but and then it turns into like this weird kind of like marriage curse situation that maybe she's a little more predestined to be involved in than she thought.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't exactly recommend it because I felt like it was one of those things where like the more that the story unfolded and the more you learned, I was like, "Mm, yeah, I could do without that." And like the
Hmm.
more they explained to you, the more I was like, I'm okay."
You're like, whatever.
On the flip side of things, not that that show wasn't enjoyable, but like I'll just join the thousands of people that are just singing the praises of Widow's Bay. Um,
Yeah, it's getting a
if
lot of attention. I haven't watched it yet, so
I
don't
don't
spoil
care,
anything.
I don't care what you're doing. Stop what you're doing right now. Even if you're recording a podcast with your pal,
Perfect.
just stop right now. Go fucking just get like the whole first season's done. So just go get a trial for Apple TV. Come up with a new fake email like I
I
did.
have Apple TV.
There you go, and just go watch it because it is. I mean, like, yeah. So, the woman that is the showrunner and creator of this, I mean, she's already pretty well known. Like, she was a writer on Parks and Rec. She wrote a lot
Hmm.
of scripts for why am I forgetting the dude's name? But like, Bridesmaids, Spy, a couple like Melissa McCarthy movies,
Okay.
and she was also Paul Feig is who I'm thinking of, and she also wrote, and I know this sound, people get offended by this, but the uh the 2016 Ghostbusters with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig,
Hmm.
which like wasn't that bad. I think
I liked it.
it just got caught like in like I don't think it was necessarily good either, but
I thought it was fun.
people just got so caught up in I did not know that Ghostbusters was such a lightning rod for fucking toxic masculinity. Jesus Christ.
Of
And
course.
it made me, and like I feel like the cultural response to the Lady Ghostbusters movie like made me hate the other two that came out afterwards. Well,
Hmm.
one, because they're not good movies by any means. And then two, it's just like, see, this is what happens when you cave to the fucking internet and drag fucking Dan Aykroyd's ass out here for like, come on, stop this. Stop this. Don't give me ghost ass fucking Harold Ramis. This is weird.
I like that
Stop
we
it.
went back to 2016.
Yeah. Um, so that being said, Widow's Bay, like I don't know if you know the premise of it, but
Yes, I do know the premise. You told me.
okay. So
Hmm. But I don't want to
it's
know anything else.
fucking incredible cast. It's again, I love horror comedy. Like
Oh, it's so good.
if you can thread that needle, it's like what makes the scares so good and genuine in the show is because it's padded by like the laughs and the
Hmm.
reactions and the even the lead dude Matthew Reese is just fucking awesome in this. And it's great. I just yeah, just fucking can't recommend that shit enough. Yeah, what a great fucking out the gates first season for a show.
Dang. I guess I'll need to tune into it soon. I've got some PTO coming up, so
Oh
maybe
yeah.
I'll breeze through that. I don't know if this counts, but as you
Ugh,
know, they re-released Tales from the Crypt
hell yeah.
on Shudder. I'm gonna count it because you couldn't stream it up until recently, so I feel like it's being re-released, and they released it week by week. I've only gotten 2 seasons in, but I did finish the first 2 seasons, and I didn't realize how many times I had seen these episodes because they were all very familiar, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is like it was like wrapping yourself in your favorite blanket. Like it felt so good watching it and like hearing the Crypt Keeper and his puns. I'm like laughing, slapping my knee, eating my popcorn, just having a great time.
Um,
Like if you've never watched Tales from the Crypt, I feel like our audience, I shouldn't say I feel like statistically our audience is our age group of like 35 to 44. And so most of you probably have seen Tales from the Crypt if you're horror fans. But if you haven't and you're
treat
older or
yourself.
younger, treat yourself. Fucking watch Tales from the Crypt. It's so, so fun. And the the Crypt Keeper like raised us. So I had to give a shout out to Tales from the Crypt because that was such an exciting treat seeing it, re-released and getting to watch it as a full-blown adult and seeing my son's reaction to the Crypt Keeper. He was very much like he was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He's not scary. But then
You're the
like
dumbest thing I've ever
immediately
seen.
but like backed out of the room, like looking real suspicious at him. So I was like, oh, you're fucking scared. I know you are.
Dude, just when they're puppets. And what sucks is that he looks worse in like season 5 because he's not like a
Yeah.
full ass like puppet going on. It
Hmm.
gets a little weak. It's like Splinter in Ninja Turtles 3. It's
Yeah,
garbage.
they don't look as I feel like when they look more rough around the edges, they're more believable. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So so yeah, that's I think that's an important shout out to Tales from the Crypt. All right. Do you want me to share my favorites first, or do you want to share your favorites first? Or do we
I
want to share our least favorites first? Do we want to shit on some movies or praise some movies?
I always struggle with this one because I'm like, it never feels like in a good spirit to shit on movies necessarily. Because I will say
Well,
ultimately, I think even in bad movies we've covered, I'm like, look, making movies sounds hard. And I can't say that I would make something better than this, but some of these movies, Natalie,
oh man, some of
maybe.
them are so rough.
But
I
I
know.
say, ones that, maybe kind of like you're saying, a little rough around the edges, but not in a good way.
Hmm.
Some ones that were a little tougher for us to absorb.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
yeah, I
Let's
think
start
we
with
should
those.
yeah. What do you got?
Okay. This was hard because okay, so two of my least favorites are two that you haven't seen. So directly to streaming, Twisted. So if you don't know the premise for that movie, you can find, I think it's free on Prime. I didn't, I don't think I paid to watch it. So it has, what is her name? The main girl from Terrifier 2.
Oh, let's see. Like Lauren Lavera
Yes, Lauren Lavera. So she's in it, which wasn't the
and
reason why I watched it, but I just thought it would be fun to see her in something else because I've only seen her in the Terrifier movies.
and Jimon Hunsu,
Yeah,
and
and
then
he's really great too. He's been in a million things.
Neil
So,
McDonough.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
So
that. And
the
Alicia Witt's in this.
very briefly,
Okay.
she plays a character that's already like dead going into the movie, so she's
Mm.
flashbacks. Um, so this movie premise is these two girls do real estate scams to make money, and they scam this doctor that is not right in the head, and he holds them captive. So that's the premise. I thought that sounded kind of fun, and it wasn't. It was really boring, and it felt like they just took pieces of other movies and put it together, where people are held captive. It didn't have like there's the only memorable moment is the very end, and I kind of called it. So I just didn't enjoy it. I wouldn't recommend it even if it's free. I don't think it's worth watching at all. So don't even add it to your list, Kyle.
Yeah, Darren Lynn Bousman directed this.
What else did he direct?
Well, I mean, he wrote and starred in Saw, and then directed Saw 2,
Oh
3,
shit,
4.
yeah.
And then so Saw 2, I thought was kind of fun. The
So
others are,
that kind of like because I don't want anyone to watch this, I will say there's a twist.
uh-huh.
And that totally makes sense with the Saw background because they love a fucking twist.
And he also did Repo the Genetic Opera, which I finally saw a part of, and I don't know, people seem to have like some affinity for that. Holy
It's not
shit,
great.
it's
Yeah.
bad.
The best part of that movie is honestly kind of Paris Hilton.
Mm.
Like it's
Isn't um rest in peace, isn't Anthony Head in that?
mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
he's great in it, but his character is I'm not a fan of Repo, and I really wanted to be, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Um my other oh, and I gave that one boo for reference for Twisted.
Okay.
I gave it one boo. Because production quality wise and acting wise, it was fine. Um, my other one boo movie, so sad to say, is Hungry.
Mm.
Kyle had heard me talking about this movie since I like discovered it was a thing. Hungry is the Angry Hippo movie, and I have to say, such a fun premise, such a boring fucking movie. If your villain is a CGI hippo, just lean into it. Lean into it, have fun with it, make it silly. It was not silly at all. I don't think there was one joke in that movie. It was completely serious, somber, trauma, like just all the things you wouldn't want out of a Killer Hippo movie. And I compared it to, of course, I've been talking about this now since yesterday to everyone that will listen to me, to last year's No Way Up, which was the movie where the airplane crashes into the ocean and they landed in some sort of air pocket situation and sharks attack. And I was like, wow, what a fun premise. And they did the same thing. It was dramatic, it was serious, and we need to stop doing that. If you have a premise that's dumb as fuck, I just need you to just have fun with it and keep it dumb.
Yeah.
So Hungry got one boo. I would not recommend watching it. It was a waste of time. My 11-year-old son, who loves creature features, also said it was boring. So there's his review as well. Don't have a boo score from him though.
I feel like also, as far as creature features go, I think they kind of came out the gate swinging with Primate. I think Primate was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, I agree.
Dumb, also
Um,
dumb, but
Also dumb. Yeah,
fun.
creature features generally are dumb, whether they're serious or not. So I think just do silly stuff with it. And then my least favorite, my lowest bow score, my lowest boo score of the year so far is The Mortuary Assistant with a half a boo. Kyle, I hated this movie so much. I don't ever watch a movie and think to myself, I should just turn this off. Why am I wasting my time watching this? I literally thought that the whole time. I didn't understand a damn thing that was going on. I wasn't scared. I wasn't entertained. I just thought it was so bad. I know that you've seen it too. And the funny thing is, I still went and watched it, and I don't remember even how it came up, but even your wife went out of her way to message me and say, "Damn, that movie really sucked. Don't watch it."
She hated it.
And I was like, I should just watch it and see if it's that bad. And it's really bad. So that I would not recommend that movie. Please don't watch it. Half a boo. I can't even describe. I go into like my lowest form of critique when I hate a movie that much because I'm just like it just wasn't entertaining. Nothing about it was entertaining. So
Really all you need a movie to
that's
be.
yeah, that's all. It just needs to entertain you. It doesn't even need to make sense. So I'm curious what your least favorites were.
I gave quite a bit of ones and one and a halves.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've got three movies this year that I've given a zero point 0.5.
Damn, three?
I've never given anything a zero before, but because
Me
I think
either.
I'm like, you know what? If people show up and there's things on a screen, okay, all right. It's like how
It's a movie.
I don't know if this ever happened in some of your classes in school, but like literally you get a point for writing your name on it,
Yeah.
and you're just like, look, all right, there's your point.
I
Te
engaged.
Technically, someone showed up in front of a camera and it made its
Hmm.
way to this screen. Okay. Um, so the first one that boy I struggled with was, and I can't believe I watched all of these, is The Strangers Chapter 3.
Oh God, I
Um,
forgot you watched that one.
the first of two Rennie Harlan movies this year. Between that and God, you were talking about No Way Up, and I was like, "Are you sure you aren't talking about Deep Water?" Which is the same fucking thing. It's you think it's a plane crash movie, and then the second half, it's like, nope, there's sharks here. Now it's a shark movie. And
Hmm.
that one's not good either. That was like a
Oh
one
man.
and a half. But yeah, geez, The Strangers Chapter 3. It was painful. It really to sit through. And I
Hmm.
remember thinking, I was like, well, maybe I like, maybe I just like wait and I watch all three of them together. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't do that because the first Strangers is just a like a boring. It's like, let's take the first movie, do the exact same thing, but
Hmm.
how do we just take any of the energy out of this? You know,
Yeah, that's
and
literally what it feels like. We watched the first two together. We did movie nights for the first one and the second one.
yeah, and the second one, it's like, how do we make them not strangers anymore? Like let's just give them like the most. And I get it, like maybe in the sense where it's just like, see, the stranger is the person that visits the town and gets tortured by these people that in burlap sack masks or whatever. That everyone's just like, oh yeah, those are our town
They
serial killers. We just let them do their thing, um, and just don't get involved. It's fucking just painful. So painful. And I like the woman that starred in it. And I think, honestly, she fucking does her best. It's like, what's it, like Madeline Page, who is in Riverdale, the
Oh,
redhead
she's
one.
so good in Riverdale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she tries her best, but everyone else is
Ugh.
just
Yeah.
fucking draining like
Yeah.
everyone else's battery around them. It's
I
so
agree.
bad. So watching this was just I was like, who knows? Maybe once you get out of like just doing a complete rehash of the first one, like let's try it. But then again, her being the only thing trying to save the first two. And the third
Hmm.
one, she like says like maybe two or three words, feels like, and then she just kind of
Oof.
sits there silent, doing nothing the entire fucking movie. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I told I wasn't supposed to spoil things. I'm
Yeah, a
sorry.
little bit of a spoiler there.
But so, oh, don't watch them.
Okay.
Um, even the first Strangers, I don't know. Yeah, just go watch the two original ones if you want to,
I
if you really
agree.
feel like it.
Yeah.
My second zero point 0.5 is Return to Silent Hill.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I
There's so
played
many good memes for this movie though.
it is I've like I it's funny how like I am not good at like noticing wigs. And whereas like you or like even my wife will literally be like, that is and I was like, I don't know,
Mhm.
I can't tell. Looks like hair to me. But like I've never seen a worse like just wig situation in this
Yeah.
movie. And and the fake beards are very strange. Um and I played the remake of Silent Hill 2 last year, and I knew that this movie was, um, directed by the guy that did the last Silent Hill, which,
Hmm.
okay, isn't that good? But people seem to like hold in this like kind of regard. They're like, oh, well, this guy's back. He did the first one, with Sean
I
Bean.
like the first one.
And it was fine. I mean, there
It's
was,
not, I'm not saying it's a good movie. I said I liked it.
yeah. So everyone was like, oh, well, he's back. So therefore, but like it looked like, um, someone like with like a green screen and a marginally working idea of like Photoshop, did like it looked like a bad like YouTube fan made situation. And the acting is just like, and just some of this line delivery, I'm like, oh, like people don't like, are you in a movie or are you like falling into a coma or like what's going on? It was
Was
really
it
bad.
scary at all? Were the monsters scary?
Well, no, because it all looked like like flat cartoons against a background. Like
Oh.
like it looked like someone standing just like walking around with like a screen behind them, like projecting like a bad CG version of Silent Hill. And you're like,
Mm.
or there was like a part where he's like running from like all the little like roach bugs and stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, like they really try to like show you like a bad fan made version of like, oh, do you remember this part in the movie or like, or in the game, or like, oh, do you remember just running and ducking like through fog, And
Yeah.
it's so bad. And like, yeah, when he's being like chased by like all the little roaches, like I remember like sometimes like I don't know like in malls where like you'll go and there's like it's like projected on the ground where
Yeah.
there's like little like things running around or whatever. It's that it looks so bad and I cannot
Oh.
handle that, and it was just really painful to sit through. Um
Yeah. It's famous, like, or infamous, I should say, on the World Wide Web for the bad wigs. If anyone is ever looking for good horror wig memes, we follow another podcast, and in honor of Pride Month, they have like the best gay memes that you'll ever find. And the wig memes especially are really fun. They're called Another Gay Horror Pod. So they have
mhm.
two Instagrams. So one of them is at Another Gay Horror Pod and the other one is Gay Horror Club. And they've got some of the best fun things. I repost their stuff a lot because I think it's really fun. But the wig one, the wigs specifically are really fun. So I recommend them if you want a little laugh. But it made me think of it. Okay, what's your third one?
And my third one is the similar level of quality almost, but Vampires of the Velvet Lounge, which
It's such a fun name.
isn't it? And
Yeah.
look, you've got a cast that has Mina Savari,
Okay.
Tyrese,
Wow.
Stephen Dorff,
Oh my
you got
gosh.
Lachlan Monroe,
Wow.
um, Mark Boone Jr., who's awesome.
Jeez.
Fucking Tom Berenger's in this movie. So you got some heavy hitters in
I
like the
had never even
genre.
heard of this movie.
And it is, yeah, it's just yeah, it's just really bad. Yeah, a lot of bad vampire movies this year. And I
Vampire
just
movies are hard.
and it again is just very I don't know. Like I feel like Mina Savari like kind of got the assignment because she was just really kind of just camping it up as best as
Okay.
she could. But the rest is just yeah, it was just real rough. And I don't
Mm.
even know. I think that it's like how I can like vividly remember how painful Return to Silent Hill was. This one, it was just so like I don't even know. I feel like I
Like
just tried to
forgettable.
eject any of that out of my brain. Um, yeah, and again, I'm like I mean, yeah, technically
Was
people
it
showed up.
sexy at all? Like, was it a sexy vampire movie?
I
Got a
think
sexy
it.
cast.
I think it thought it was,
Oh, okay.
but because it's she's who's the famous woman who apparently bathed in blood, Bathory, Elizabeth Bathory or something is her name. Um, and like kind of like a modern version of that. And it's Mina Savari, and you
Hmm.
know, yeah, I don't know. They just like prey on dudes in clubs, and you're like, okay, this might be like fun. And then it's also this like really bad like cop procedural,
Oh.
um, with like, this like cop slash private eye, woman that it's just so fucking it's just painful to watch.
Was it
So
longer than an hour and a half on
it
top of all that?
yeah, it was hour 45
Oh, geez.
and I felt
Yeah.
every bit of it.
Oof.
Yeah, so just no thanks. Don't do it.
Dang. Okay.
And there were some fucking bad ones this year, but hey, it's again, I would be stoked if I was able to make Vampires at the Velvet Lounge. So I will be very clear about that. But
Yeah.
but I
Well,
would not
that's
blame anybody for
you
hating it.
can't use that as your scale when you're not a filmmaker.
True.
Because if I made The Mortuary Assistant, I'd be really proud of myself. But I'm not proud of whoever fucking made that movie.
Yeah, but like but I mean, I don't know. I make music and I know I can't write Hungry Like the Wolf. Shit's perfect. Can't do it. I can't write a hook that good. Get the fuck out of here. That's the greatest guitar riff ever written.
Yeah, but you're not making Strangers Chapter 3 quality music, I would say.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm glad you took that as a compliment.
I think so. Well, I'm assuming I'm hoping you're thinking I do better than Strangers Chapter 3.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
When it comes to 30-second spooky tunes, I got you.
Yep. Got that in the bag. Okay, before we talk about our favorites, I think because of cultural relevance, I want to talk about the back rooms because I know it's not in your favorites and I know it's not in mine, but the back rooms made some money. It made a lot of money. And
But still hasn't even made the most money.
it has not made the most money, but it's getting a sequel. And
Yeah. y-
what did you think of the back rooms? We got some hot takes, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. And then now that I've listened to maybe some other podcasts talking about it, I mean, it doesn't really move the needle in terms of my opinion of it, but Um, you know, Chiwetel Ejiofor, loved him since Serenity. So he's
Yeah, I
he's
do love
he's
him.
always a delight. And I love a fucked up cartoon looking pirate puppet version of him. I thought that
That
looked
was
great.
fun. That was my favorite thing about the movie, that pirate.
And like most people our age that aren't Gen Z or Gen Alpha or whatever, um, we don't know what the back rooms are. So like watching this, you're
Mhm.
like, especially after both of us, like, we've got between us a lot of years of working retail, and we're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's an empty ass fucking hallway. Like what?
Yeah. It's a
You
it's
know?
a it's a abandoned stock room.
But knowing what I know about the back rooms, and I haven't seen like all of like or any of the YouTube shorts,
Mhm. Mhm.
but it feels like I was just watching this and I was like, yeah, yeah, this feels like a a shoehorned plot to make some sense out of a YouTube series that's based off a 4chan post. Yeah, feels like it. Feels like you just kind of
Mhm.
tacked some like what's a middle-aged divorced man drama we could just put on this. How do we make this? Yeah, the back. Yeah, I can imagine like the dude they hired to bring in the script. It's like, yeah, 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 back rooms. How do we make it about trauma?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wasn't as high on it. I was prepared to come in maybe liking it a little bit more because when
Mhm.
you saw it, you were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, is
Yeah.
this what everyone's fucking talking about?"
Mhm.
Maybe elaborate on that a little bit. How you were
What
thinking.
was what was your boost score for it?
My boost score, I gave it a 2.
That was better than my boost score. I gave it 1.5 boos. So I also didn't know anything about the back rooms. The only reason why I went to see it, and like the first day that it came out, is because my son was insistent upon watching it. Now,
Who's 10, 11 years old, so
he's
knows
11,
that shit.
and for context, he's not allowed to watch YouTube. So very curious as to how he learned about the back rooms and has seen it because he was naming monsters that have been in the back rooms. I was like, I'm gonna need to search that
Oh,
web
it's
browser history.
it's like
But
how in like 5th grade we all knew about South Park.
yeah,
What kids will find a way.
that's true. They always find a way. So that's why we went to go see it in the first place. I all the shit of it not making sense to me aside and feeling like it's one of those things where it doesn't give you enough answers, but I didn't really even care to know the answers. Um, I didn't find it scary. Like the pirate did scare me for a moment, but it was mostly fun. I think my biggest issue was that those two main characters, both the male lead and the female lead, their acting was fine. Like it was good, in fact. They were not interesting characters. Usually, I love someone getting unhinged and going off the handle and becoming evil. Like Breaking
They
Bad, love
they
that.
skipped all over that, Natalie. Like literally I guess sorry, I'm spoiling it again.
Yeah.
He is just exploring this place
Yeah.
with his like two employees and telling his therapist like, "Oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. I saw something crazy. I'm going to see this." And
Hmm.
then he's just like gone for a minute and then all of a sudden he's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
They don't even show
there's no
that.
build or anything. And then you're introduced to past trauma for your female lead, but not really. Like it's like kind of a backstory, kind of not a backstory. And does it have anything to do with the back rooms? I don't know. But I have to say, there are people like really praising this movie, and I kind of wonder, I am the most anti-hype woman when it comes to hype. I wonder how many people out there are just like, I think I'm supposed to like this, so I'm just gonna say I really liked it because I saw it and was like, oh my God, this movie's gonna fucking tank. Because I had seen it literally, I we saw a morning showing of this movie the day that it came out. So I feel like I was one of the first people to see it that weren't watching like those special screenings. So I really thought it was going to bomb. So I just wanted to take time to say that at first I was like, oh, the Backrooms wasn't that bad. But the more I think about it, the more I just didn't like it. So if anyone out there um who's listening disagrees with us, I would love to know your background with this movie. If you know, watched it on YouTube and maybe that's where the appeal is. I saw like comments about if you're not into liminal spaces, then you're not going to like the Backrooms. I'm sorry, what the fuck does that even mean? I've never felt more millennial in my life. What the fuck does that even
Bro,
mean?
if you're not into empty Hobby Lobbies, then get the fuck out.
Like, what? So, okay, so I just had to just go off course for a moment. I kind of threw
Sure.
that curveball at Kyle. Um, okay, how do we want to do our favorites? I want to see if they land together. Should we take turns?
Yeah, and I think if you don't mind, I feel like actually talking about Backrooms, I think helps lead into one of my top movies of the
Go
year.
for
And I'll
it.
probably go three, my third favorite to my second favorite to my first so
Okay.
far.
That's all. I'll
Yeah?
do that too. Yeah.
Okay. Um, the thing with Backrooms is I was like a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about is I do think that at least the money that it made, um, and not just this movie, but this and like even like Iron Lung that came out earlier this year,
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck is this fucking movie? And I saw that it was
Did you
based
like
off
it?
a video game. It was like fine in the sense where it's like this dude is not like was not a filmmaker at all in the slightest.
Mm.
He is a YouTuber. He does
Hmm.
like Twitch streams of playing video games. And
Mm.
I think he just fucking used all of his money, bought or not all of his money, but used his own money, bought the rights to this game that is not, super well known.
Mm.
But the game takes place in essentially like a 12 by 12 space, inside this submarine, essentially.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I was like, what is this movie? And I was like, all right, well, hey, it's a horror movie. All right. It's like January. I was still feeling all like bright-eyed, being like, all right, I'm gonna watch every one. Okay, sure, Iron Lung. And then I open up the little app to like pick my seat, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this movie or like the theater's fucking packed.
Hmm.
And it's because this, and it's a generational thing, when you're talking about with your son
Hmm.
watching Backrooms. Um, I'm there are just these YouTubers that have such a huge following that like, oh, this YouTuber wants to make or is making a movie. Fuck, I'm gonna go see it, because
Hmm.
there's that built-in fame with the followers and shit.
Hmm.
And I know I'm sounding really old, I'm sorry,
No,
but
they have an audience.
and so I'm sure like it's not like, oh, these people are like really wanting to see Iron Lung or like these people are super fans of the video game. I think
Hmm.
it's like a Markiplier or something like that is his name. Um People just probably just follow him and we're
Hmm.
like, all right, let's go see it to support him. Just like how um with Backrooms, like to an extent, like yeah, it's like, this popular YouTube phenomenon, and then that person has like probably a shit ton of followers on his page, and then now they're like, all right, hey man, here's a budget, make a movie. Um, Now with Iron Lung, that dude I think he used all of his own money. So, but
Hmm.
what I was going to say is, yeah, I think going forward, I think that we're going to see a big swell of
Hmm.
popular YouTubers that have X amount of followers being like, all right, cool, we're gonna throw you $10 million, make us a movie. And I think we're gonna
Hmm.
probably see a lot of that coming up because you have the Backrooms, which I mean both Backrooms and Iron
People love
Lung
it.
didn't, yeah, but they just made a fucking good amount of
Hmm.
money, and that's the thing.
That's
Um,
what counts.
Now, a standout, which leads me into my third favorite movie this year, probably first for everybody else, is Obsession. it's, Curry Barker. I think there's also same thing, with like Barbarian, that like pipeline of like sketch comedy
Mm-hmm.
to horror. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I love it because again, what I love about both, Weapons, Barbarian, and like say Obsession is there there's a lot of humor in it
Mm-hmm.
for but it's also so fucking grim.
Mm-hmm.
And balancing that I think can be like really hard. But so when you find someone like Curry Barker that's really just competent in doing that, like taking like such a bullshit, silly, nothing story that we've seen versions of already. It's like that
Yeah.
episode of Buffy when Xander has everyone fall in love with
Mm-hmm.
them, or I think there's even a Tales of the Crypt episode, similar
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Yeah.
Um, but fuck, this is fun. I'm like, and again, it's like, I don't need this to
Mm-hmm.
be, I don't need to know all the lore on this. I'm just like, I don't know, yeah, okay, it's some gift
Mm-hmm.
shop. They had a fucking thing where he just makes a wish. And of course, if anyone's seen Aladdin, don't wish for someone to fall in love with you.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. But I do think the movie warrants repeat viewings. I really think that
Mm-hmm.
that lead actress, is rightfully getting all the accolades,
She deserves it.
bestowed on her.
She's the
Um,
best actor in the movie by
that
far.
is that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should gotta show some love to Andy Richter.
Well, he's barely even there.
You imagine just like Monday morning, he's like, "Where's my entire staff?"
Yeah. It would have
What
been fun.
happened?
It would have been fun if that was like a post-credit scene where he's just like, "Where the fuck is everybody?"
Yeah. But yeah, I think that movie goes pretty hard.
Hmm.
And I think it's delightfully creepy. I love like the moments of her like snapping out of it like briefly, and
Hmm.
it's just made me feel just fucking terrible for this poor woman. And
Yeah.
it works, and I just love how it all worked out in the end, you
Hmm.
know? So I had a lot of fun with that movie. Like that's one where I can say like, yeah, man, that hype matches it. It's fun.
Hmm.
I don't think it's like this incredible tour de force fucking movie, like kind of like we were, coming out of like last year with like Sinners, right? And like even like
Hmm.
Weapons, fucking out of order, like he thinks he's Quentin Tarantino or something. But
Hmm.
the movie was just really fucking fun, really solid. And I think had the tension and the scares and good laughs. I just thought it
Hmm.
was a lot of fun. And that's my first submission.
That is also, so I didn't rank mine the same way because I actually had three movies that have the exact same boo score and then one movie that has a higher boo score. Obsession fits into one of the three that have the same boo score. I gave Obsession 3.5 boos, which is really high praise on a first watch. I very much enjoyed Obsession. I had a fun time watching it. The word tense was perfect. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, what is going to happen next? What is going to happen? Like, like you just feel like, oh, this is so uncomfortable to watch. Um, but I really enjoyed it too. I agree. I think people are getting a little excited, but I've only seen it once and I would like to rewatch it. I do think it has high rewatchability because even watching videos or listening to other podcasts talk about it, there were things that I was like, oh shit, I totally missed that. So I'm excited to go back and watch it or even watch it at home so that I can kind of, go back and forth and rewatch scenes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, the lead actress, she does such a good job. Like she does such a fun job that I found myself and Kyle seeing a little bit of this, like trying to do some of the faces that she makes in the movie. And it's so fun I bet she had a blast, like just being a weirdo. The way that she moves, I know some of it probably is like camera work and all of that, but she does some really fun like
Yeah.
background, like walking and like tiptoeing and weird things. I I really enjoyed it. I think what we're like she stands out so much that it kind of dimmed everyone else down. And I mean, you're not meant to like Bear, but I also found myself like not really being dazzled by the actor either. And maybe it's just because he's supposed to be unremarkable,
Mhm.
but and it felt a little on the nose that his name was Bear. But I did really enjoy the movie. It felt very relevant right now, and I'm glad that people were really into it, but I do feel like a younger audience was more into it because maybe they haven't seen The Love Spell Gone Wrong as many times because it is such
Mhm.
a played out thing. And the only thing I gave major points off for Obsession was that I every twist and turn and plot device that happened, I knew it was coming. And that's how predictable that story is. So that's why I was like, he did one of the best jobs I've seen of that type of story, but it was still the same story. But I really had a fun time watching Obsession. I would recommend that to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anybody would have a really fun time with it. Um, so yeah, and the audience, I don't know if you had a good audience, but my audience was having a blast with it too. So
Love that.
that was also really fun. Okay, what's your next one?
So since we both decided it counts, um, I forget what movie we were covering. So I mean, often you and I will, do some pre-roll where we talk, we just talk, catch up, on
Mhm.
each other's lives, things like that,
Mhm.
or
Little
like any
warm
like
up.
little warm up, any movies that we've been seeing, just to kind of get into that cadence. And we had we had both just we had both just seen Mortal Kombat 2.
Like the day before.
My wife is sick of me talking about Mortal Kombat 2. And
Everyone's sick of me talking about Mortal Kombat too.
and I and so we were talking about Mortal Kombat 2, you and I, and like next thing we know, an hour and a half went by, and I
We
was like,
we should have just recorded.
we should have just fucking hit record because that was a Mortal Kombat 2 episode.
Uh-huh.
We literally did a full ass, hour and a half, hour 40 on Mortal Kombat 2
Yeah,
before then just going into I don't know what the fuck what we were talking
whatever
about.
movie it was.
Something that happened back in March, that we released.
And
And
wasn't as fun as Mortal Kombat 2.
probably wasn't as good as Mortal Kombat 2. Um, so like I've always had an affinity for that series and those characters, even though like I've never been good at them. Maybe like the most recent like NetherRealm ones, I feel like I'm a little better, but like
Stepping it up.
playing the arcade ones, oh my God, I'm
No,
garbage.
everyone is.
It's so bad. But and the first movie is a ton of fun, and I do think Mortal Kombat Annihilation is like famously bad but fun
Hmm.
bad.
Yeah.
um this movie, and again and the 2021 one that came out was just
Ugh.
pretty meandering.
Yeah, it was kind of a
um
clunker.
yeah, so I don't know really what compelled me to want to watch this one so much. I mean, of course, like, dude, genre king Carl Urban,
Hmm.
is awesome in it. And I watched this movie, and maybe it was because, I was a little high when watching it, but like I was just, and then watching it like on the big, like the Dolby XL with the recliner and everything, I was fucking shook during this. Like I this was from the fucking very beginning, the opening with Katana, and then just showing like it doesn't even say Mortal Kombat 2, it just says Mortal Kombat. And you're just like, oh, I'm fucking bad. This is cool. But like one of the strongest parts or suits, of this movie is like I would tell people you could know nothing about Mortal Kombat. I've never heard of it in your life. I have no idea what it is, no context. You could watch this movie and say, this is based on a video game, huh? This feels
Hmm.
very much like a video game.
Oh
And it
yeah.
is. And I mean that really in a very complimentary way.
Oh, for sure.
Especially and then I'm like, this is like fan service where they figured it out. Where like
Yep.
normally 99 out of 100. I even I was talking about earlier in this episode where Ghostbusters. It's like, dude, don't listen to the fucking internet. Those idiots never know what the fuck they're talking about.
Hmm.
Um, and fuck the fans. So, but watching this movie and then like even just like how corny it is, just the like, like the zoom out and then you've got one person there and one person on this
Oh my God,
side
it's
and they're
so
about to
good.
fight. And like and again, it was a little high, still enjoying it, but like I was like, this looks beautiful. I think all the fights are great. The
Hmm.
thing that everybody hates about the last one, they just fucking handled that with a big old
Hmm.
hammer. And like, oh, dude, the Liu Kang Kung Lao fight, I was like, I don't know who's gonna get out of this. I do not know. I don't feel safe about any of these characters. And it just was so much fun. I couldn't tell you the last time I just had that much like fun in a movie theater. Um, it just kicks ass. I can't talk enough about it. And who knows, maybe I'm, again, I'm sure just childhood nostalgia too rolls into it.
Hmm.
I had also gotten the Mortal Kombat collection that just came out where
Hmm.
it's got this like Natalie, it's like a 3 to 4 hour like interactive documentary through the history of Mortal Kombat. I think it was Tony would have been about.
You're gonna
And
have to let me borrow that.
and in that documentary, it's like I'm like 3/4 of the way through, and I go over and it's like, ooh, do you want to see this 45-minute documentary from 1993? We just included it. And I was like, yeah, I want to watch that one too. So I go back, so I take a pause and I go back and watch all of that. And then playing through the games, it's just like, dude, this is just I'm vibing with this so hard. So it's very
Hmm.
much this first half of the year is very much a Mortal Kombat season for me.
Hmm.
So I gave it 4 boos. Fuck yeah, it's
I love
awesome.
that.
And I'm like, man, maybe it deserves more. We're gonna find out.
Well, because you brought up Mortal Kombat, I'll have to skip ahead. So, Mortal Kombat has the highest boost score for me so far this year. So, it's actually my top movie so far for the year.
Hell yeah.
So, I gave Mortal Kombat 2 4.5 boos. And I'm going to tell all y'all motherfuckers right now the only reason why I didn't give it 5 boos is because I have a rule. The first time I see a movie, I cannot give it 5 boos. I have to see it at least twice to give it 5 boos. Now, that being said, everything that Kyle just said, except I wasn't high, I was sober. Um, I had the same exact experience watching this movie. I have not had that much fun in a theater in so long. And we were actually seeing it like within 20 minutes of each other, too. So, like, Kyle finished the movie maybe 20 minutes before me.
I was
Eh,
giggling. Could not wait for you to text me. And
Yeah,
literally when you did, it was all caps. Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, and I was like, uh-oh, am I gonna be like embarrassed for like saying this is incredible? I had so much fun with
He
this.
said it was a ton of fun, right? And I was like, it was so amazing.
Yeah.
We can't talk this movie up enough, and I'm sure we'll get around to it and have an episode on it. You took a lot of the words out of my mouth, but what I will say is what I'll double tap on is this is a perfect example that you can listen to fans and give them what they want and still make a really fun movie. It They course corrected everything from the first one. This is very much a Smile, Smile 2 situation or an Orphan First Kill situation where you're like, I shouldn't even be watching this sequel. Why am I here? And then you're just fucking blown away. That's pretty much what happened with this. And again, like I have the same nostalgia for Mortal Kombat. I've been playing it since I can remember. I can't remember life without Mortal Kombat. I still play it regularly. Whatever the newest one is, I'll buy it. I play it. Um, I think it's the only video game that I'm better at than most people that I know.
True.
So
Very.
that gives me like more attachment to it as well. But I'm really bad at the original ones too. I played them not that long ago at the arcade and I was getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think Carl Urban wouldn't have been my first choice for Johnny Cage, but you know what? I think he pulls it off. And I think the comedy in the movie is silly. It's it's a good time. You see a lot of characters, you see fatalities. The set design, I don't know if it's real sets, if it's CGI, I can't even fucking tell. It's all so fun to look at. Like a lot of it was like really, oh man, like it was so Mortal Kombat. Like it was perfect. So yeah, that is my top one for the first half of the year. We'll see what can beat Mortal Kombat. But what's your what is yours? What's your top movie? Or maybe should I say my other one before you get to your top movie?
If you want to. Um,
I had a tie, and they're two like such different movies. So Send Help was also one that I gave 3.5 boos. Now, I wouldn't put it as one of my favorite movies. It just got thrown in there because it got 3.5 boos. I thought it was really fun. I think it's really good. I think everybody did a really good job. I don't remember the main actor's name, but Rachel McAdams is so fun in it. And I I've always been a big fan of hers, but I feel like this is the first time I've gotten to see her play a role where she gets to get a little kooky in a
mhm.
while. So that was fun to see that she still has that. Um and I think it's like a story we've seen before with a unique twist. So I loved Send Help. I thought it was really great. My other my other like tied runner up was Scary Movie. I also gave I lifted it from 3 to 3.5 boos. And do I think it was a good movie? Not really. None of them really are great movies. But what I think was special about Scary Movie 6 in this year of 2026 is it gave me a nice dose of nostalgia in a fun way. And I think they actually did a pretty good job of capturing the old and embracing the new and like still did some of their controversial jokes, but kept it a little lighter. I thought they did a good job of managing it, and I was just happy to see the gang back together again. And so yeah, so that was definitely a top movie for me as well. Such a weird assortment of movies like that fell into the top for me but that's where we landed. So I'm curious to hear which one is your favorite. I think I might know, but I want to hear it from you.
Ooh, yeah, I'm curious what you think mine is going to be. Um, Came out the beginning of this year. Like the more I kind of think about it, when I'm like, what is really like the best made movie that I've seen this year, like hands down, is Nia DaCosta's 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Oh, that's not what I
Um,
was gonna guess, but
what were you gonna guess?
I was
Scary movie?
no.
Mortal Kombat
First,
2 again?
it was a movie that I haven't heard you talk much about, but I know that you liked, which is Forbidden Fruits. But I feel like I would have heard you talk about it more if it was one of your favorites, because you'll usually push me a little bit more to watch them.
I liked it. It was really fun. Has a lot of a kind of a dark comedy vibe to it. And
Hmm.
then I think you, I mean, with, like anyone that's like worked like designer retail before, I
Mm-hmm.
think would find some humor in that.
Okay.
That I and it's funny because like I don't have a big affinity for 28 Days Later.
Or
Um
zombies in general, just so you all know, Kyle's talked
yeah,
more shit on zombie movies than anyone I know.
not a zombie guy. And
Hmm.
and 28 years later, the one that came out last year, like was okay. Now
Hmm.
there were some things that I thought was like, okay, that's lazy. I'm like, if this is like really, if you're like really trying to like do like, I don't know, something like an elevated zombie movie,
Hmm.
um, I wasn't super impressed with the last one. I mean, I was like, middle
I
of the
didn't
road,
watch it.
2.5 or something. But I thought this one was just fantastic. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was well acted. What I was really worried about at the end of 28 years later, as far as like where the story would go, they didn't. Which is I appreciate that when they thought they were gonna zig, they zagged. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and fuck the and one of the main guys, like the main kind of antagonist, he was also the main antagonist in um Sinners as well.
Oh yeah.
And he was fantastic in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking hats off to that guy. And then Ray Fiennes being like having a more central role in this one was just fantastic. And I loved him and I could just like watch him um walk through his bone temple that he made. It's a little much. And then
It got
the
good reviews too.
Yeah, it's a shame that it didn't make any money compared to the last one, but I think
Mm.
they're still going to do a sequel or like a third one to kind of tie it up. And then you've got like not one, but like well, not one but two great Duran Duran needle drops. Love that
Oh.
because Ray Fiennes' character fucking loves
Oh,
Duran
he loves
Duran.
Duran Duran. No wonder.
So like he's like there's a scene, I'm sorry, but he's like walking through and he's just like and then I lean over to my wife, I'm like, I think he's humming Girls on Film. And then he is. He starts singing it, and I was like, awesome. And then there's another Duran Duran spot on that too. And then but that's nothing compared to such a fucking fun needle drop towards the end and one of the most just fun bonkers scenes that I've seen on film, certainly this year. Ray Fiennes is fucking awesome. Give him an Oscar for this. He was incredible. And just yeah, and then but also at the same time, like it was just bonkers and weird, but also just grim and
Mm.
fucking depressing. And I
Hmm.
just yeah, without getting too much more into like spoiler territory, I just really thought it was just very strong. I mean, I think Nia DaCosta is great. I loved her Candyman.
Hmm.
So just already like fucking, horror industry legend
Hmm.
budding there. So good on her. Good on that movie. That was so much fun. And it came out early this year. It was in January. So like the more I just kind of ruminated on it, I was like, yeah, if it's not Mortal Kombat 2, it's going to be 28 years later too. But yeah, I thought that was great.
Interesting. I'll have to give it a watch. Am I gonna have to watch 28 years later
Yeah.
to for it to make sense? Okay, so I do need to watch both.
Yeah.
I could probably rope my husband into watching those because he does like the 28 days later and 20 weeks later. He's seen those. So
I really
believe
think
it or
he
not.
would I mean, I think he would enjoy like 28 years later, but I think he would I think he'd really get a kick out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add that to my
And you'd like
list.
it because there's just zombie dong just
Uh
flopping around.
I've heard that. The internet spoiled that for me, and then the
Yeah.
Duran Duran is an extra treat. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Flopping dongs and Duran Duran. You're like, I am in.
That's it. Yeah, I'm like, sign me up. I'm like, I have to watch
Yeah.
a whole movie before watching that. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we got some standouts. I'm
How
excited.
how about you? What's your number one? Wait,
My
you
number
already
one's
shared
Mortal
it.
Kombat 2.
Good for
Mhm.
you. Love
I
that.
just read that. Yeah, that literally it feels silly because, we're at a point now where I'm sure this happens to you. Like people ask you, like, what did you think of this movie? Or like what movie, like, should I go see this? Like people will ask me opinions. I get messages on Instagram from people I know, have worked with, and they'll like ask me what I think of something or if they should go watch something. And it's not embarrassing. It's just, I think, surprising for them when I say, like, oh, well, my favorite movie of the year so far is Mortal Kombat 2. So, because they're like, is that horror? And I'm like,
It counts.
it counts. So, yeah, it really is my favorite. Okay. there's still a lot of horror movies coming out in this latter half of the year. So I kept my list short. I tried to pick a top three, ended up with a top four, and then discovered a movie that I didn't know was coming out that I added to the list. So, do you have some movies that you're most anticipated?
I mean, maybe once you give me your list, I'll be like, oh
Okay.
yeah, huh, I'm looking for that
Hmm.
too. But I would say the one I am probably looking forward to the most, and which you've heard me talk about, is I loved Weapons, I love
Hmm.
Barbarian, and those movies like that Zach Krager, I'm like, that dude has all of the goodwill he needs. And I'm like, God damn it, Natalie. It's 2020 fucking six, and here I am getting my hopes up over a
Hmm.
fucking Resident Evil movie.
Hmm.
And
We've been
I
burned so many times before.
but everything I've seen, like the trailers, I'm like, this looks
The trailer
cool.
looks fun.
This looks like a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and hearing what Zach Krager has to say like about it, like listen to like he was, it's weird how like early they started the marketing for this movie. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's like also because like, Requiem came out, earlier this year. So like,
Hmm.
Sony was probably just pushing just Resident Evil stuff. And but just to hear Zach Krager talk about it, where he's just like, yeah, the vibe I really wanted to get was, like when I'm playing Resident Evil, like the feeling I get when I play the game, I want people to feel like I want that. And
Hmm.
I like that, he's doing an original story, which I'm just like, man, yeah, after watching like Return to Silent Hill, I was like, I do not need a one for one, just like game to movie
Yeah.
remake. Like, I don't need that.
Hmm.
Allegedly, this story takes place at the same time as Resident Evil 2. So
Hmm.
fucking Leon just running around that fucking police
Roundhouse
station,
kicking.
roundhouse kicking and trying to find like which fucking the spade key matches the spade
Oh my
door and the
God.
oh my God. Um, but yeah, like the vibe of just him being like, oh man, like I don't know how to fucking shoot. I don't know how to, and when you're so low on anything like resources, weapons, bullets, things like that, it's just like,
Hmm.
oh, you fucking feel it when you line up a headshot and then just get
Oh, when you
right to the left.
miss.
And you're just
Ugh.
like, God fucking. Ugh."
You literally feel like you fucked up on something like in real life when that happens, like the
There's
frustration.
there's really a like literally a part in like one of the trailers where yeah, he like just misses his shot. He just goes, God damn it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how many of us
Hmm.
have done that and just yelled that out loud playing that game, knowing you're like, I only have four fucking bullets. I can't.
Hmm.
And I love, what it's looking like is it's not just, the Raccoon City zombies and shit. Like it looks like
There's
they're taking more
monsters.
from like, yeah, the weird creatures from some of the other games and just shit looks
Hmm.
unsettling. I love the guy that stars in it. He was also a standout in Weapons. Um, yeah, really excited. I know that one I'm really excited about. And
I knew
the
you were going to bring up that one. That one's on my list as well.
yeah,
That was my number one.
and tell me yours. What are you looking forward to?
Okay, so I started with Resident Evil for all the same reasons that you just stated, and it does feel silly to get excited for a Resident Evil movie because oh God, such a dark history. Like the game to movie quality ratio is just so fucking
Ugh.
off. It's wild. But I am excited for it. And I am excited for the lead actor too. He was in, isn't he in something else horror coming out this year or that's already come out this year?
Not off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Look into that. I would you be the research team.
Sure.
Um, okay, so some of the other ones that I'm excited for. I'm excited for Evil Dead Burn.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked Evil Dead Rise, but I always go into an Evil Dead movie being like, or at least the recent ones, being like, I'm prepared for this to not be good. So if it's good, I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice.
I think what it is with Evil Dead movies, and you know, as we're recording this, we haven't released our schedule for upcoming things for franchises, but we're going to start talking about the Evil Dead. So what I get excited for and what the last two Evil Dead movies have shown me is that you get some really fun gore. And I like to see gore that makes my skin crawl a little bit, but in a fun way. So that's something you get from Evil Dead movies that you don't get from other movies. So I'm excited for that, even if the movie is not great.
Hmm.
And I also liked Evil Dead Rise just fine. So I had a good time watching it. So um have I gone back and watched it yet? No. But we'll get there. So Evil Dead Burn, I'm excited for. I'm also excited might be a strong word, but I'm intrigued by Clayface.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll watch that.
I feel like it has potential to be really weird and just have some really yucky things going on. Like the teasers and things that I have seen, I was very thrown off by. So I'm excited to see something that makes me feel uncomfortable.
I no, I lost my thought for a second. What movie were you talking about? Clayface? Oh yeah,
Hmm.
right. I feel like I was like burned already a little bit when they did that when they were marketing that Sam Raimi Doctor Strange movie, and they're like, "Oh, it's
Mm,
going to be like a Marvel horror film," and
yeah.
I was like,
Is it? Yeah.
"Is it though?" And
Yeah.
when I watched it, I'm like,
Mm,
"Is it?" So when they kind of framed this as like again, like, "Oh no, this is going to be like a horror, like you know, uh, just fucking just." Weird body shit like
hmm.
maybe we'll see it
We'll
or I'll
see. I like I want to watch it because I'm curious to see what they do with it, like the story, like
mhm.
how the story goes. So, yeah, so Clayface is on my list. Um I don't know if this is going to be a great movie, but I want to see Ice Cream Man. Uh,
Yeah, like it's
it
you know how
looks
I feel about
dumb.
Eli Roth.
I know. And I'm not a huge fan of Eli Roth either, but I mean as a person, I do appreciate some of his work. It's very hit and miss, I feel. So I'm excited for it because I do like children mixed with violence in movies, not in real life.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I'm curious. Like could be kind of fun.
I think the other one too I forgot to mention is oh yeah, I'm gonna see Werewolf, the Eggers one.
That one's
um
not I we'll see if I even watch it.
I mean, I just like the idea of give me like hoity-toity, pretentious, Universal monster movies every Christmas. I just love that. I love horror
Ugh.
movies on Christmas. Like just like last year, I was like, hey, or was it last year? Was it Nosferatu this past Christmas? But
No, yes, it was no Nosferatu.
I love that. I'm like, give me one every year. I love
If I
that.
could go back in time and change any one decision I've ever made in my entire life, it would be to watch That's right. It would be to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night instead of Nosferatu last year. If I'm going to watch a horror movie during Christmas time, I want it to be Christmas.
Oh,
I
no, I don't need that.
Nosferatu was a beautiful film, but I was bored to tears. I have a feeling that Werewolf is going to be the same situation. So if I watch it, I probably won't watch it in the theater. I don't think I'll take the time to watch it.
Okay.
I know it's a hot take. I think I'm just being
Yeah, a
lazy,
little
but
bit. Glad you said it.
yeah, like it's out of laziness. Okay, this is the one that I discovered that I didn't know existed. I don't even know if it will be straight to streaming or if it's going to go to theaters. There's a Return of the Living Dead sequel that's coming out, and guess who's starring in it?
Who?
Our boy Devon Sawa.
Hell yeah. All right.
So put that on the list.
The
I know
Sol
nothing else about it.
Soanaissance lives on.
Yep, the Swan Sons lives on. So that is what I had to round out my list with because I was like, oh. Anything that's horror with Devon Sawa, of course, I'm gonna watch.
Um, Now, may I ask? I do want to ask you something, and I didn't bring this up before
Oh
recording.
no. Okay.
But I know that we've talked about it before. Anything non-horror you want to shout out that you
Mm,
enjoyed this year?
actually, yeah. I do have some non-horror things. I made sure to keep track just in case you asked. So I saw three non-horror movies in the theater. Um, two actually they're all kind of like children's movies. Y'all,
Makes sense.
I have time for two things. I have time for horror and children's movies. And it's funny because my son doesn't actually watch that many kids' movies. I just like to go to the theater. So when things come out, we go and see it. So shout out to Hoppers. Um, it's
Okay.
it's a movie about a little girl who is obsessed with animals and the environment, and this old woman, this old scientist makes a way for you to put your brain like into a robot animal that can communicate with real animals. And this little girl takes advantage of that and decides she's gonna like save the environment by pretending to be a beaver and making friends with all the other animals, and it goes terribly, terribly wrong. Um,
Sounds like a horror movie.
it actually is really dark. I will not spoil anything, but for those of you who know me very personally, there's something that most people would not consider scary that I am terrified of that this movie addresses, and it made me very happy. So, Hoppers, I gave 3.5 boos. I loved it. It's probably one of the best kids' movies that I've seen in the past like 5 years or so. So, if you do watch children's films, I'd recommend it. I also watched Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mm,
I'm not a Star Wars person. I'm not a Star Wars fan, and it's not that I dislike Star Wars, but like I watched episodes 1 through 6, and then I've not watched any other Star Wars movies or television series since. So literally, I jumped into this movie only having seen like pieces of The Mandalorian because my husband and my son watch it, and then I would enter the
Natalie's
room.
like 3 years late to like, what is this Baby Yoda situation?
That's kind of how it went. Yeah. So we saw this movie, and what I liked about it is that you don't really have to know anything about Star Wars for it to make sense. Like it makes sense as its own little standalone movie. And what I liked about it, I love the relationship between the Mandalorian and Grogu. They're real cute. They got a little father-son thing going on. Um,
Is it the other way around where Grogu's the father figure?
Actually, there is a very intense portion of the movie where he does have to like step up. So I'm not gonna spoil anything there. What I don't
Uh-huh.
understand though about these movies, since we're on the topic, why are we paying Pedro Pascal when we only see him for like 5 seconds? What is that? I like, is he in that suit? Is he talking like through a speaker, delivering lines, or does he record them? I don't understand why we're paying him so much. Why does it have to be him? It could be anybody. I guess
Okay.
not because people love him. But like I love him too, but I want to see his fucking face. So, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Maybe we should just save the money. Um the other movie that I watched was Toy Story 5. Um Toy Story 5, we didn't need another Toy Story movie, but I think they waited an appropriate amount of time for things to have changed so much for children that the story actually felt relevant because they address tech and screens. And they do it in a really good, like, as a parent who has a child who has an iPad and plays video games, and I don't clock a lot of the time that he's playing, I appreciated that this movie managed to find a balance of being anti-tech and like, but tech is okay at the same time. And it's still fun, cute, nostalgic. You get all the classic Toy Story tropes. You get a lot of Joan Cusack, which is nice. Um, but It didn't make me cry like all the other ones have, so I actually liked that better. I also, oh, I didn't say my boo score for The Mandalorian and Grogu. But for Toy Story 3, I also gave it a 3.5. Kids movies get easier high scores than horror does. I'm much
Mm.
softer on any other genre, really. If you put me in front of a romantic comedy, I'm like 4.5 boos. It was excellent. I cried twice.
I I am like just yeah, but I think it's just because I'm like a, you know, man in a childless man in his late 30s.
No, but
I cannot sit through a fucking kids movie anymore. I
that's
don't
the
even
thing,
care
Kyle.
if it's a Toy Story or if it's a whatever the fuck.
Even before being a mom,
Don't have patience.
if you look at my DVD collection, that's right, my DVD collection. It's all horror and children's movies from like before my son was even born. So I always like just will watch kids movies. For The Mandalorian and Grogu, I gave it 2.5 boos because it is a Star Wars and your girl usually doesn't play that. But
Half a boo for Sigourney Weaver, probably.
I love her so much. God, she's so good. Every time, like Sigourney Weaver,
Good for her.
every time she pops up on the screen and her voice,
Mm,
I could listen to her speak
yeah.
forever. Have you ever seen the movie?
I still think she's hot.
Oh my, she's still so hot.
Fuck.
Have you ever seen the movie? God damn it, what is it called? Heartbreakers
With
with
Jennifer
Jennifer
Love
Love
Hewitt, of course I
Hewitt.
have, yeah. Gene
If
Hackman
y'all,
too, I think.
yes, if y'all haven't seen that movie, please watch it. It probably hasn't aged well because it's a mom and daughter that are con artists together. It's fucking fantastic. That's also a good movie. And then I'm trying to think. I don't think I watched any new non-horror television. I rewatched Schitt's Creek, but that's not new.
I restarted Kids in the Hall
Oh,
and
okay.
just watched the movie recently. Love that shit.
Did you watch any non-horror movies?
Yeah, some, but the one I will shout out, which I kind of does have some not horror elements, but like it gets bonkers if you've seen
Okay.
his other movies. But I saw I Love Boosters, and that was a lot of fun.
I don't
You've
even know what
got
that is.
so it is I think what was his other movie? It was like Sorry to Bother You, I think. Yeah, because it's got a lot of it also has Lakeith Stanfield in it. Um but it was the guy that did Sorry to Bother You, if you've seen that. I don't know.
Mm.
Um what's his name? Boots Riley is the writer and director. And that also is like a very strange, odd situation. But also has like a lot of like, of course, very pertinent things to say, especially when it comes to, racial politics
Mm.
nowadays, and
Mm.
how some things just, certainly haven't changed in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Um, I Love Boosters is awesome. You've got fucking Kiki Palmer. I will watch
I love
anything
her.
with her in it. She's so magnetic and
Yes.
awesome.
Oh my God. I was just thinking magnetic. Yes, that's the
Yeah,
perfect adjective for her.
dude, ever since like the first season of what's that show? Scream
Dream
Queens?
Queens. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she's great in this. And the antagonist is Demi Moore, who is
Mm.
this like, brilliant like clothing designer, but it's like so ridiculous and so like, like the ridiculousness of like high fashion,
Hmm.
like high, more high fashion than like a Devil Wears Prada situation
Yeah.
feels like, but like
Yeah.
just making fun of it.
Like
Um,
unwearable fashion.
yeah, and her and her friends are boosters where, they go and they steal a shit ton of clothes and then go and
Hmm.
sell it, secondary market. But there is um yeah, there's demons in it. There are like
Oh.
also like other like monster supernatural things that happen in it. So it's
So
like
it is
I
kind of horror.
So it kind of is. So like maybe I bump Obsession out of my top three and throw in I Love Boosters. I don't know if it straight counts enough. I don't think it counts because my mother-in-law watched it with me and she does not do horror in the slightest. So if she was
Okay.
able to sit through that movie, I don't know if I call it horror. But
Okay.
it's yeah, just a lot of fun. And it's just very visually the palette is just very just bright colors and
Hmm.
it just looks beautiful to watch. Um yeah, just please go check that out, everybody. It's so much fun. So
Interesting.
yeah, that and then yeah, looking forward. I brought this up. I forget if it was the mid-year. It must have been. But season two of X-Men 97. I'm so excited for it because the first season is so fucking good.
I still haven't finished the first season of it, but I did enjoy what I watched.
Cool.
Um,
It's so weird how it can be so grim and dramatic, but then also retain the goofiness of it all.
yeah, it is. It is. It gets real dark. It goes real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I watched? If anyone is interested in this, the America's Next Top Model documentary, the
Mm.
one that they had on Netflix. I haven't watched the other one that is Janice Dickinson's side, but I will say, having watched America's Next Top Model, I think I watched cycles 1 through like 9. I stopped
Mhm.
watching it once it became dual gender, but not because of that, just because I had
I was like,
lost interest in
whoa.
the show because it was so like toxic. Um, but yeah, that show was such a train wreck, like you couldn't look away. And it's so funny because the whole documentary, it really feels like Netflix fucking hates Tyra Banks and they edited it to make her look worse, which honestly she deserves because that was her whole narrative for America's Next Top Model. She's like, well, the producers, they edit it like the way they want to, and she was like the main executive producer.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was really interesting like hearing some of those girls like side of the story and looking back and seeing, a plus size model in the early 2000s and, you know, just the oh my God, the terrible the torture they did to those girls was absolutely unreal. And I say torture not lightly or kidding. Like it was literal torture. Like some of them, there was one girl that was sexually assaulted on the show and they fucking show it like in the
Hmm.
episode. And I remember watching that back then and being like, what the fuck? Like it was, yeah, it was crazy. So I did watch that. I would recommend it if you were a fan of America's Next Top Model back in the day and you realized that you like could be due to compensation for the trauma that it caused you as a young woman or a young man. Um, yeah, but I think that's all I really got into
Love
this
that.
year. Yeah. So, whew. And we did this one early, so we'll have a lot to talk about for the end of the year.
It it's June 30th. I mean, it does land the exact midpoint. I think we just did it late last couple of
We
years,
Yeah, we've always done it the end of July,
which is late.
which is technically late. Yes,
Yes.
sure. We wanted to get as many in as we can, you
True.
know? And you're doing great. So,
Oh.
any anything else so far for 2026?
Mm. I'm excited to watch Ready or Not 2 again because if y'all
Mm,
remember, or if you've listened to our Ready or Not episode, I gave that shit 5 boos. I thought it's a
Val loves
perfect
it.
movie,
Hmm.
and the sequel is a lot of fun.
I,
And
I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie though.
no, but it is a ton of fun, and I do enjoy it. I gave it 3.5. I picked it up on Blu-ray. I'm going to watch it again and see how I feel. Maybe watch them back to back because Ready or Not 2 starts like the second the last one leaves off. Good thing
That's
Samara
true.
Weaving just doesn't age because you
Yeah.
can have a movie 7 years apart And
Yeah, that is wild. I didn't realize it was such a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, I had fun watching that movie too. It just
Sarah
didn't
Michelle
really
Gellar.
land. Oh God, I love her. I gave Ready or Not to 3 boos, but I will say I do think it is owed a rewatch. I don't know though. That the first one is so good. I knew it wasn't going to be better than the first one because the first one is
Hard to top.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to, not grade it against that movie. So, if there's any movies that we didn't mention that we watched, or I know Kyle watched a lot more of them, any that you think I should push to the top of my list to watch, I would be curious to know. I'll probably share our boo scores for some of these movies that we didn't talk about that we watched too. There's a few of them that I think deserve a little bit of, just to be mentioned, but we didn't get a chance to talk about all of them. Otherwise, we'd be talking for longer than we already have. So let us know if there's anything that we should watch or anything that we should give a second chance or a movie that you're willing to defend. Is there any that we talk shit on that you'll die on that hill and say that you loved it?
Mm. Well, I'm looking forward to the back half with you, Natalie.
Yeah, me too. All right, everyone. Until the end of the year, for me at least. 3, 2, 1, ghost. Thanks for listening to 321 Ghost. If you enjoyed this episode, you could subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321 Ghost Pod and give us a follow. We would love to hear from you in the comments. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321 Ghost Pod to see our boo scores on all of the movies we've covered so far. Thanks again for listening, and remember to reach out with any recommendations of movies you'd like to hear us cover. 3, 2, 1, ghost.